And we've been talking about this trade since June 25th. So it's been 2 weeks plus, right in there, right in that time frame. But we've been in the chat, in the Discord, walking each and every student through this day by day, step by step, telling them, hey, we're breaking the structure. We're starting to accumulate, structures being respected as well. And I know this is the 4 hour, but it was really the higher time frames that enabled this to happen here. If you really take a look, I know most of us know what the setup is. You've seen the videos, you've gone through the market structure playlist, you've seen the accumulation schematic multiple times. So I'm sure just based off me zooming out, you can already, find the setup as we see. But if you don't know what it is, it's always going to be some type of, and this goes for accumulation, there's always going to be some type of low and high created in the market, right? Price is going to create lows, it's going to create highs. It can be one low, one high. It can be multiple. There's no limitation on this. Okay, so you want to allow price to create those lows and highs, but once you see the lows get swept and price starts to run higher, that's when you know. That is when you know that price wants to go higher. Why? Because we just had a break of structure. Price just broke to the upside, and that lets us know that potentially we want to go higher. This is a good indication. If you're a lawyer and you need evidence to get into a trade and you want to have a confirmation, you want to look for this. If you're not getting this, then hey, good luck. Let me know how that goes. But once you see that happen, you want to go ahead and mark up. Just annotate, hey, we have a break of structure. Boom. And the higher the time frame, the better. And this is the monthly time frame, so that's why this is important. And so if you can't see it, it's essentially here, right? We have a low, a high. We sweep these lows, and guess what? We break structure. We break above these highs, and even these highs up here. That's a good indication that price wants to go higher. And what happens? It dropped, and it played around for multiple years, since 2021 all the way until 2 months ago, 3 months ago. We swept this liquidity here, and we dipped into this zone. We dipped into some of this imbalance, right? We swept 4 years worth of liquidity. So that's pretty important. That's pretty important. And once we swept, we are finally breaking structure to the upside. And not only did we have the confirmation off of this huge structure here, just because we have this confirmation doesn't mean once price comes over here, it's going to respect this. So what you do is you want to wait for the same setup to happen again right here with current price action to confirm that, hey, this Picasso painting over here, is it valid? Right? Is this valid over here? Is this arts and crafts valid? And we can't know that until we have another section over here. So that's why once we zoom in, we can see specifically on the monthly time frame, we broke structure to the upside. My price broke above these highs with a full body candle. And yes, this counts. It doesn't have to be a massive, bullish candle all the way up here. As long as the close of this candle is above the high, that counts. That's why it's also important to understand candlestick anatomy. People keep asking me, oh, how do you know if it's a bullish or bearish candle if they're all the same color? Well, buddy, if you understood candlestick anatomy, you wouldn't be asking me that question. And that's exactly why I made the candles this color. So I can see who really knows their shit. A lot of people will learn everything else except the basics. They won't learn candlestick anatomy. They won't learn market structure. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All right? Watch the videos. Watch the videos. But we're here. Oil is on a rampage. And we're going to let it fly. We're going to let it fly. If it wants to keep going, great. If it doesn't, it is what it is. Once I see a break of structure to the downside, specifically on a daily time frame, then I will go ahead and close out most of these positions just to secure most of the profits and whatnot. But as far as right now, we're not really getting any indication that price wants to go lower because we're still respecting bullish structure. Price is still accumulating, as you can see here. So as long as I don't see any higher time frame distribution, specifically 4 hour, maybe the 1 hour, and above, then I'm going to keep holding the positions. I've even added more pending limits, some buy limits based off the daily breaks of structure that just happened recently, which is what I was marking up here on the lower time frames. But you see on the daily, we broke some structure here as well, 3 times. This candle broke twice. Let me see, did it close above 67.20? Maybe it did. Let me see, let me highlight this. Usually you can check right here. Let's see. This is 108. This is, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But it's right there on it. Even if that didn't count, it's skeptical. You still broke above these 2 structures here, these 2 highs. And then the next candle continued. So that's why we're like, hey, this is confirmed bullishness. So let's go ahead and place a buy limit at the most recent breaks of structure. And also, forgot to, at the low. You want the low as well, because that's liquidity, right? So once liquidity gets swept, there's potential for price to continue going higher. So you definitely want to do the lows as well. So the lows, was it 81? Probably was 81. That's crazy. Boom. Yeah, the OCD just kicked in. That shit has to be directly on it. But yeah, it's looking good so far. That's why we're gonna keep holding these positions. And once we zoom out here, you see that we're breaking structure to the upside. See the structure here, all down here that we were breaking, and we did low key break this. We broke that structure. So this is valid. We have some solid confirmation down here. Once we get up here, it's insane. And if we really break this structure here, that's gonna be major. Right? The huge liquidity. Boom. All that was the sweep. That break above, that's insane. And then once you get that final pullback, and we generate another confirmation here somewhere, and then take off, like, this is probably gonna be like insane. But that's if we even get that far. We have no idea. Only time will tell. All we can do is watch the structure. But hey, I'm here for it. And guess what? It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take weeks, months. If you can hold stock portfolios in your 401k for 65 years, you can't hold a trade for a month, for 2 months. But everyone's different. But I know scalping is fun though. I know people like that adrenaline rush, and they're like, ah. And I think it's cool, but I don't know. I think swinging is it just looks better. It just looks better. But let's get it. That's pretty much it. I'm going to do another video right now going over everything else. I don't want to make this one too long, but it probably already is. I'll see you guys on the next one.